is good, my people, my peeps? How are you guys doing this afternoon? Oh my goodness. Let's get into this conversation. I want to jump in with my 2 cents. Okay. So by now, you all have heard about 50 Cent. He dropped his documentary on Netflix about P. Diddy. Um, yes, we're gonna have to, have a new law put into place. Double jeopardy. Take it out. Take it out. We want a retrial. That's right. Diddy needs a retrial. And I know if I call for a retrial right now that um, he can't be tried on the same thing, double jeopardy, I believe is what it's called. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Go ahead and double tap your screen as you come in the building. Get the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. We're going to have just a quick conversation. I wanted to, put my 2 cents in about was the talk on the streets, okay? And as you come into the stream, go ahead and hype the video, hype the video, hype the video. Okay, so 50 Cent has dropped this information regarding, some new information regarding the trial and some things about Diddy. And the reason why I'm saying, yes, we need a retrial, because I already had said, look, let me just say this, because I know there are some hardcore Diddy fans, and you might not like what I have to say about Diddy being charged for racketeering, being charged for trafficking, all of that. Everything he got off of what Cassie, said he did, and the other complainants said he got away with. We need a retrial. We need a retrial because the jury was rigged. That's right. It was a rigged jury. Okay. And I know in the black, and I do air quotes, the black community, there is this thing about they're hunting down all of the black men, the successful black men, and they're tearing our community apart. Hold on for 1 minute. Let me get this down real quick. Okay, as you come to the building, let me give you the rules right quick. Let me give you the rules. Come in being respectful now, okay? I don't want to have to give you that invitation to the block list. Okay, and don't come spamming the chat. Go ahead, put your time out. Don't come spamming the chat, okay? And I do not know how to read Arabic, if that's what you write in there. Whatever that language is, I don't know how to read it, honey. Okay, so you're going to go on timeout. Don't come spamming the chat either. And hello, everyone on Facebook. If you're joining from over there, I cannot see your comments, so just come on over to YouTube. The channel name is the same, Ethereal. Okay, so we can get straight back into it. I know in the black community, we've been hearing on the streets every time every time one of us successful black men get caught up in the scandal that they caused themselves, right? I'm not talking about setup. I'm talking about they participated, right? We have everybody from, good old Bill Cosby to R. Kelly to, now P. Diddy and everybody in between. They get caught. They are drugging people. Drugging people. This is a thing. When they start to drug people, I'm not talking about if they just doing they freaky dicky thing and everybody is consensual and stuff like that. And I'm talking about drugging people. I'm talking about trauma bonds. I'm talking about abuse. This is what I'm talking about. When these people get caught in their abusive ways, in their narcissistic tactics that they do, and their trauma bonding that they cause people, they need to pay. Do you understand? They need to pay for their crimes. And hey, if they are a black male, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. Salute, salute. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you a pass. Because let me tell you this. I like to give y'all little short stories about me coming through in life because, that's life. You pass down stories, teachable stories at least. And so, coming through, being raised, I remember my mom telling us, you know, the right way and the wrong way, the good and the bad, how to act out when you out in them streets, right? And I can remember her telling us, my brother and I, look here, don't call me for no bail money. If you go out there and you get yourself in trouble and know you participated in doing something wrong, do not call me for any bail money. That's what she said. That's what she said. Don't call me for the bail money. Now, and we're not. I want to get you to understand. I'm not talking about just, you got caught up, you got set up. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you participated. This is what I'm talking about. You know right from wrong. These grown men knew right from wrong. R. Kelly knew it was wrong, pissing on little girls. Right? Or no? Oh, we're not gonna play crazy. R. Kelly knew it was wrong. You don't go around as a grown ass man pissing on little girls. Right? He was wrong. Bill Cosby knew that you don't go around putting roofies and drugging women to have some kinky sex that they probably wouldn't have said yes to if they was in their right mind. Huh? Holler back if you hear me. If they was in their right mind, would they have participated and did some things that he obviously had to do when they were unconscious, unwilling, but unknowing, right? So they thought, you know what I'm saying? Because the body will tell. The body is a memory bank, right? But now men are starting to come out too, especially with this Diddy trap. Men starting to come out and say, look here, I went to a party. I went to a Diddy party and look, I came, I'm a dude. I'm a dude, just, not me personally. I'm a female all the way. But these dudes that went to a Diddy party and they done came back and said, I woke up sometimes with women, left to my right. I'm like, oh, hey, it must have been a good party. I don't remember nothing. I woke up like this with women. And sometimes I woke up and Diddy laying in the bed smiling. Good morning. You want some coffee? Don't rush, y'all. Diddy is laying in the bed with me. And my body ain't feeling right. This is what's been said in the documentary, but it was said before the documentary, when you take advantage of people without their will, it's illegal. It's a crime. Okay? I'm talking to the Black community because we got a lot of folks that want to say it's a witch hunt against men, Black men, successful Black men, that once they get, to the top, to the pinnacle of the heights of their success, their fame has got them. Now, all of a sudden, why are they being torn down? Why are they being trampled through, the mud? Because they allowed themselves to go out and play in the puddles. You see, you can't always do what other folks do. So my mom told us, my brother and I, don't call me if you get locked up wanting some bail money, because I'm already told you know right from wrong. So these grown men knew right from wrong. You just can't do what other people do, especially if you rocking the melanin. Especially if you rocking the melanin, you ain't got the complexion for the protection of the collection. If you rocking that melanin, why Billy Bob? Why he get to do and drug all these women, but he ain't getting drugged through the mud. You know, we hear those kind of, complaints. Y'all, before I get into talking about Diddy and why I'm calling for a retrial, because the jury was rigged. You understand me? The jury was rigged. Did y'all hear about R. Kelly? Now, I know R. Kelly was in, but this might be a Mandela effect, because I'm hearing he got 30 years. I thought they had already sentenced him, or was he waiting for another sentence to come down? Y'all let me know. 30 years. It's over for R. Kelly. It's over for that petty. Okay, y'all check this out real quick, and we're gonna continue to talk about what's going on with Diddy and me calling for a retrial.
We do begin tonight with singer R. Kelly, sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors accused him of leading a criminal enterprise of managers, bodyguards, and other employees to recruit and abuse women, underage girls, and a teenage boy. Accusations swirled around him for decades, and authorities believe for years his actions were protected by his fame. Then in 2019, in the TV docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, a number of alleged victims came forward to publicly accuse him of abuse. Arrests followed on charges in Illinois, and in federal court, Kelly held without bail for nearly 3 years now. At today's sentencing, several accusers confronted the former superstar, the judge calling his abuse calculated and carefully planned for 25 years. ABC's Stephanie Ramos leading us off tonight.
After decades of sexual misconduct allegations, tonight a federal judge in Brooklyn sentenced singer and convicted sexual predator R. Kelly to 30 years in prison.
This is a significant outcome for all victims of R. Kelly, and especially for the survivors who so bravely testified about the horrific and sadistic abuse they endured.
The one-time music superstar faced life behind bars after a jury found him guilty in federal court on 1 count of racketeering and 8 counts of sex trafficking. The trial lasting nearly 6 weeks, with close to 50 witnesses testifying against Kelly, more than half of them alleging abuse, several represented by Gloria Allred.
You've called R. Kelly the worst perpetrator that you've pursued. Why is that?
He recruited fans of his, targeted them, intimidated them, indoctrinated them, threatened them, sexually assaulted them.
Federal authorities looking into the years of accusations after the explosive Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, in which dozens of accusers alleged the singer had abused them. Kelly did not testify at his trial. Tonight, one of Kelly's accusers relieved.
I never thought that I would be here to see him be held accountable for the atrocious things that he did to children.
And the legal fight for R. Kelly isn't over. His lawyers say he didn't speak during the hearing today because he still has a pending case in Illinois. His lawyers also say they plan to appeal his verdict today right here in Brooklyn. David.
Stephanie Ramos leading us off here on this Wednesday night. Steph.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So R. Kelly just got 30 years, but, we know he's been behind bars, so I'm assuming. Let me get this down real quick.
We do begin tonight with singer R. Kelly, sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors accused him of leading a criminal enterprise.
He was waiting to get, sentenced for 30 years. It's a wrap for R. Kelly. And they put him on suicide watch, y'all. They put R. Kelly on suicide watch. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know what it means when they put them stars on suicide watch. We know what happened to Epstein when they put Epstein on suicide watch, don't we? He unalived himself, so they say. He unalived himself. So now R. Kelly got 30 years. It's a wrap. His legacy is ruined. I'm saying we need a retrial for P. Diddy, Puff Cone, take that, Diddy. Because the people from this docuseries that 50 Cent put out, it was some moles in the jury sitting right there smiling and cheesing. It was a fangirl in the jury. It's coming out. 50 Cent is brilliant. He been holding on to these little nuggets of information, and he put it out right before the trial, y'all. Well, after the trial, to make you think. I mean, he even getting death flowers, funeral flowers sent to him after this dropped on Netflix. Diddy in jail hot than a firecracker. But I mean, double jeopardy can't happen, right? Not for the same thing. But I wonder if other victims, other than Cassidy, because there's so many. There's so many. And there's so many still hiding in the corner, men and women. And I'm talking about real victims that were drugged and beat and coerced into, sexual favors. And not even favors, you just do this, Let's get into what's going on so y'all know what the heck I'm talking about. Here's another video for you. All right, let me go ahead and get this in queue. Diddy, and that dog juror. Oh my goodness, check this out.
After this bullshit I just seen in the Diddy documentary that 50 Cent did, they need to run that whole trial back. You mean to tell me it was jurors who was running around and kicking it with Diddy back in the day, and they was on the jury pool? And I don't like it. What if I told you? Check this out. So everybody was saying that one juror, 160 or whatever, she was fanned out. I remember she was saying that when Diddy made faces, when people was lying, that she would be making faces too, and then they would be making faces together. She was on the 50 Cent Diddy documentary smiling the whole time, acting like Diddy was the best thing ever happened to the world when you supposed to be on the trial. It don't make no sense. This is some bullshit. So juror number 160, according to the internet, and you can look into it yourself, but they have found her basically partying with Puff. Put the video or the pictures up here somewhere. Now I wonder, so how many other jurors was running around with Diddy back in the day and found themselves magically on the jury pool, coming up with this verdict that pissed off the whole world? 50 Cent put that in the documentary on purpose. He a genius for that. He want to show the world that this fucking trial was rigged. It was a dog and pony show. It was not real at all. And I don't like it. What if I told you?
Look here. I don't like it either. I wonder. I'm just wondering, because when they do jury selection, they normally they don't want the jurors to have too much of biases when it comes to being selected for jury duty, right? So shouldn't there be some kind of mistrial or I know the trial is over for that for most. I don't know. Do we have any lawyers in the house? I need some legal advice. Because, baby, we need some legal advice about this because I know they asked her certain questions and she said she didn't know Diddy. But now the internet, these internet detectives, baby, better than the FBI. These internet detectives have found out that she lied when she was being sequestered. They weren't even sequestered. They weren't even held back. They was watching all the talk and everything. They weren't even sequestered during the trial. But she was asked, did she know Diddy? And she said no. But the internet detectives are finding out after, 50 Cent didn't drop these pieces of evidence, and it's so funny. People, when they search out, when they want fame so much, they don't even think about what they're doing, right? She didn't even think about what she was doing because she was a fangirl. That's right. Nothing but a fangirl of Diddy, right? So she been all at parties and stuff, getting pictures with Diddy, but went on that jury and said she didn't know Diddy. I mean, she said she knew Diddy from, the making of the band episodes and things of that nature. But honey, people saying she was smiling and cheesing in the court. Baby, here, let's get this other video at Diddy, a fangirl. Nothing but a fangirl. This trial needs to be rerun. Reverse, baby. Let me get this other video up for y'all. Check this out.
Diddy Juror 160 that we saw in 50 Cent's Netflix documentary actually gave me off vibes from the very start of Diddy's trial. After her opening her mouth on this Netflix documentary, it confirmed my suspicions that much more. They always say that picking the jury is what could possibly make or break a case. And I think Diddy and his legal team knew that they wanted Juror 160 on this jury. With Diddy's $1 million legal team, he actually hired a jury consultant who is very good at what she does. And what she does is profile the jurors. She looks at everything, their body movements, the way they talk, and she puts it together, picking the people that she believes might be most helpful to Diddy during his trial. One interaction that stood out to me the most during this jury selection process is the fact that Diddy smiled at Juror 160. During the jury selection process, it was reported by multiple different media outlets that Juror 160 said, "I wish I knew the names of the celebrities that were on the list that were going to be brought up during Diddy's trial." And it was reported that when she said that, Diddy smiled. And Diddy most likely smiled about this because she said she wished she knew these celebrities that were being named. That shows that she's pretty much kind of fangirling over celebrities. She wished she knew them, which a lot of people, even myself, feel like this is the vibe that she gave off during her interview on the Netflix documentary. It really threw me for a loop when she brought up the fact that she didn't believe that Diddy was actually nodding at the jury. She just thinks it was a nod that he would normally do because she watched Diddy on Making the Band. Even as the media reported, and someone like me who has covered this case extensively, you would have known that the judge used a particular word when he threatened Diddy to kick him out of the courtroom when he was caught nodding at the jury. The judge said Diddy was vigorously nodding at the jury. That means he wasn't just nodding a little bit. He was nodding a lot of it. And this is where a lot of people felt like this girl was fangirling because she admitted she used to watch Making the Band. But that part in itself, it's important to note when you have a high profile case with someone like Diddy, it's not unnecessary for people to know of him. They will still select jurors, but they are not supposed to be biased. The judge in Diddy's case did ask these jurors that got selected, are you sure you're not going to be biased? Because they can't have somebody that's biased on the jury. And if any of them said, yes, we do feel like we're going to be biased, then they were removed from being put on this jury. I also hated the way that Juror 160 was smiling and smirking through different parts of her interview, especially when they talked about the violence. Me and most people, that did not come off sincere because they asked her, do you think Diddy's a violent person? And she said sometimes he was in the CNN video. Well, no duh. And all of this, including what Kalina Harper talked about in the Netflix documentary, really made me think about Diddy's 1999 case. Kalina Harper was talking about the fact that Diddy reached out to her after Dawn Richard filed her lawsuit. And we also saw the videos that Diddy was having somebody record of him actually doing this, which is insane in my opinion. Diddy wanted Kalina Harper to put out a public statement basically refuting anything that Dawn Richard said in her lawsuit, which Kalina Harper did end up doing. And the reason why I was so shocked that Diddy was actually recording himself call Kalina Harper is because prosecutors allege Diddy reaching out to Kalina Harper continued when he went to jail a couple of days after he recorded those videos. This is where the prosecution alleged that Diddy was tampering with witnesses, and this is the reason why Diddy kept getting denied bail, because the judges were saying there was clear evidence that he was reaching out to witnesses. Like I said, it reminded me automatically of Diddy's 1999 case. Because in the 1999 nightclub incident, when Diddy was with J-Lo and Shine would go to jail, the prosecutors were alleging that Diddy was tampering with witnesses. Prosecutors said that Diddy or members of his entourage exchanged phone calls with witnesses who later testified that Diddy did not have a weapon during a 1999 nightclub incident. The security guard that was at the club said on the stand that she never spoke to Diddy after the incident, but phone records showed a 3-minute call from her home to Combs' cell phone on January 8, 2000. Myers testified that she fell on top of Combs after the incident, that she did not feel a weapon. The prosecution said this contradicted what she told police immediately following the incident. The prosecution's evidence during this trial also showed records of 5 calls in January to the hip-hop star from a cell phone owned by an auto technician, who also testified that he did not know Combs, while his phone received 1 call from Combs. Records also showed 22 December calls from witness Glenn Beck's home to one of Combs' bodyguards, Paul Offord. This evidence back in 1999 was introduced to support the prosecutor's accusation that the defense had tampered with witnesses. And as you know, one of the victims in the 1999 nightclub incident, Natanya Rubin, who is the sweetest woman ever, actually said since the beginning of this and even during trial that Diddy is the one that shot off the weapon that ended up hitting her in the face. We all know that Diddy did get acquitted during this trial, and then Shine ended up spending 10 years in jail. But Natanya Rubin didn't stop there. She actually filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy, which he quietly settled a couple years later. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Honey, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I'm going to tell you right now what I think about it. I think Diddy needs to be getting 30 years plus like R. Kelly. That's what I think. That's what I think, because he did too much. He became the devil. He became the monster. Because he was out there dilly-dallying with little entities, little demons, playing the game, getting away with, what people get away with stuff. They think they get, they think they're bigger than the law. They think they're invincible, right? Diddy was out there just doing just too much and just getting away with it. Baby, I'm trying to tell you. Let me cue this up real quick. I think I also want to play really quick, y'all, a song. Hey, everybody throwing their shots, even Mace, honey. I think Diddy is the monster everybody been saying he is, that he became, honey. He might not have started off as the monster, but he surely became a monster. I mean, I was even shocked that Diddy, they said he destiny swapped with Biggie. But baby, when I heard the details of Diddy supposedly having, he said he wants to have this grand funeral for Biggie. I mean, all in New York City. I remember watching it on TV, honey. People lining the streets. I mean, they rolled in the car through the hood, through the common people who supported Biggie. They say Diddy did the ultimate destiny swap with Diddy and Biggie. Took Biggie's fame, fortune, and that's after he took him out, set him up, made Biggie's estate, honey, pay for that grand funeral that he said he was going to pay for. I'm talking about, this is diabolical indeed. You understand? Diabolical. And then had the nerve to get on stage and come out shortly after the funeral talking about, it seems like yesterday when we rocked the show, I dropped it, you laced the flow. Now, every step you take, y'all remember, every move you make, he was jamming. Destiny swap, put himself as the star. y'all, because Diddy was a dancer. Diddy was a backstage, a backup dancer. He destiny swapped hard and spiritually swapped Biggie's position. Came on stage talking about every step you take. Y'all, let me get into this. I think I got a song. I hope I saved it. I heard Mace came out, shots fired. Shots fired, y'all. Mace said, no, y'all, he ain't the one y'all thought he was. He ain't as slow as y'all thought he was. Let me see if this is it. Hold on. No, hold on. Let me see if I can find the song. I hope I saved it from this morning. I think I got it. Hold on. Let me turn it up.
He doesn't mind playing them.
Okay, let's hear this report coming from A. Shanty. Mace. You know, he did a live broadcast and sang a song.
Mace was never nobody's dummy. One thing about him, he said on numerous occasions, he doesn't mind playing dumb, but he's nobody's dummy. Anyway, let's get into this concert. He did a performance in Atlantic City where he rapped his song Oracle 2, I believe is the name of it. And it was straight shots at Diddy.
Well, as I should. He just tried to stall me. I did a lot of work, and I just never got paid. So when you don't get paid, you don't show up to work. And people keep asking why you keep coming and quitting again. That's a good question. Because every time I get promised, I get paid again. And when I find out I ain't getting paid, I quit again. Hey. Do you understand that part?
Yes, indeed.
So we understand this part. So when I say what I say, I know it can get a lot of people in trouble, but not me. Because I don't get in trouble. I'm God-made. I'm God-made. I'm God-made. I'm God-made.
We hear you. I'm telling me.
With about $1 million in jury and no security. Because I'm fucking, I wish a nigga would.
Wait a minute. Let me pause that real quick. I'm from that era too, Mace. I am, Mace. I'm from I wish a nigga would. Y'all ain't here. Let me run it back real quick. Let me see if I can run it back. He said, I'm from that era.
I wish a nigga would. Too much. I mean,
thank you.
Really, I'm smiling because you ain't no threat to me. I want to do it out I'm an apologist. New women like Solomon. I could burn bridge, smoke water like the prophets did. I could read niggas' futures like astrologists. While I'm so clean, I'm the next thing to godliness. Niggas trying to starve my kids to get my money till they firstborn. I'm not the nigga supposed to work for. You're supposed to teach Coach and P about a legacy. Instead the niggas follow you, you teach them treachery. And then you say you check for me without the check for me. But what you talking about is murder, niggas double jeopardy. Niggas saying let it go. You bugging, nigga. I can't let it go. Tell niggas don't talk for me. I can only talk for me. I know what my budget ran. I run the drum every week. I'm on my way out to it. But it's a way out for me. Niggas try to dangle money. They didn't think I ever thought. Niggas love to start the artists, but they love to clean the freaks.
Yeah. Shots fired. Shots fired. Mace. Everybody, like, why he went back? You know, he went back. He said because he kept saying P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him, Jailbird Diddy, kept promising him he was gonna get paid, that he was gonna pay him. So he's like, okay, man. I remember the second reunion because they was I think they was out in Miami somewhere because I remember they was going to an award show. Was it an award show or something, y'all? And they was they looked. I remember if I can recall, they looked like they had on white, and Diddy was all hugged up with Mace, and you know, they was getting ready to go to a reward. I think it was you know what? I think a tour was getting ready, Bad Boy tour, something was getting ready to kick back off. And he said, "Look, you always talking about you gonna pay somebody, and you didn't pay nobody. Okay, so that's why he had to bounce. Let's go."
As when you from above, you're above them all. I may not be above in money yet, but I'm above in spirit, so I don't see myself as secondary.
I'm rich around this camp.
And because of that, I talk the way I want to talk. And I talk when I want to talk.
Yeah.
I come in when I want to come in. I leave out when I want to leave out. Because I'm my own man. I show up with thunderfall. I ain't running from y'all. Because I come for it all. I fire at the laugh and watch it fall. And when they do the short first, then I come for the talk. And when your main artist down, the hell do you call? I bring smoke or water on. I'm used to the fall. I empty pipes when cliques get called. And go to church on Sunday, I'm the illest of all. I'm never put mates with other bad boys who have hardships. You know, I need it jumping like a boss tape, nigga. I'm the first level, dirt level. I'm the never work level. Niggas mad I made it to the hour never work level.
Come on. Come on, Nate. He did it his way.
Don't steal, my nigga, change your name. Come on. And I see no integrity in your name. And I'm on it.
Let me tell you something. When you don't have integrity, I mean, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, integrity can help you in so many ways. Just have just a little bit of integrity. Stand on business. And it's a lot of folks that don't have no integrity. Can't stand on business, honey.
Everybody broke, niggas gotta bring a visionary. Niggas be selling their soul to go to a punch. Niggas might end up sweet, drinking that punch out something good. And niggas know I'm from another hood. In a brotherhood, I'm trying to make sure that my mother good. I ain't sheep, but I'm only rolling the ghost. I'm not in the top five, I'm only holding the balls. I'm the ghost of wolf, ghost of RZA. Come with the facts you never considered. I'm the ghost of shine. I speak for every artist, never spoke their mind. Representing every artist that was left behind. From Craig Mack to G. I still love them.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Niggas holler my money. You know that's not a man move. You know you flicking on Tony. You know they do it, you know. It's never safe for you, homie. You know that say it's true. You had a chance to go right now, understand me. You can't solve a nigga came from waking Campbell. Complicated game of bonus for what he did. And Kim Porter made the game God's best in history. You want to kill you like a nigga. Now it ain't no way to fight. Now we got to win the life. Know your strategies and what you have is on you. Right now I got a goal in your faculties. So when you get the nerve to come after me, what a death. Gotta know the downside was a record. Actually, after Pete died, what a travesty. When Ghost left, nigga, was nobody at. Yes, I got the last one.
Shots fired. May said when May slept, wasn't nobody left. Puff. Oh, let me let him finish, y'all.
You just a nigga not a fucking cat.
Diddy thought he had a fool when he signed Mace.
Yes, he did. He thought a fool when he signed Mace, but Mace, I mean, I don't know what kind of was that. That one at 22. That one at 22. Pew pew pew. No, that one at 22. Fine off them shots. I think that thing was an automatic. Mace went in, and he needed to shoot off them shots. You heard me? You heard me? Mace went in, baby. Oh, thank you, honey. Okay, now over there on Facebook, I just seen an alert that somebody gave me a little change over there on Facebook. Thank you, honey. Wow, appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Look at them. Don't get. Hey, I'm watching YouTube over here on YouTube. Don't get us ticket to the block list, okay? Don't come up in here disrespecting the godmother, because my mom's is Martin, okay? Don't think you won't get a straight ticket to the block list. So I see ya, but I'm put you on time out so you can learn something today over here. This is the channel you need to be on, okay, baby? Okay, you go on to timeout, go on in the corner, put your nose in the corner, okay? Learn something today. We talking about, I'm declaring and decreeing today, okay? I'm declaring and decreeing that we need to have a retrial. I don't want to hear about double jeopardy. I don't want to hear about it. Diddy need to be going down, down, down for all the lives he destroyed with these sexapades, okay? I'm talking about putting people in situations unaware. Because when you got the drug folks to get your way, use a beast of a burden in this society. Use a devilish monster, okay? And I'm Denise had this dim-wit fangirl. You hear me? On the doggone trial, on the she was sitting in the jury and she had been knowing who did it. Was she talking about? I wish I knew all the other celebrities. This woman want to be amongst devils because she don't understand all that rigmarole up there in Hollywood and everywhere else. If you ain't careful, baby, they gonna drag you to hell like that movie, Drag Them to Hell. Them devils gonna come out and drag you straight to hell. So they had a fangirl on the jury. That's why that nigger walked, baby. On them other the other charges from Cassie. That's why he walked. He had a mole in the doggone jury box. Mm-hmm. And then he had a misogynist male that don't have respect for women in the jury box too. Two corrupt jurors. We need that trial. I don't know how can I need somebody. If you're a lawyer, if you got some kind of education in law, leave a comment. Let me know. Is it a petition we can start up? I mean, R. Kelly just got 30 years for being the devil and deviant that he was. I'm talking about when you sit there and when you groom children to mold them to your sexual deviant ways, lock them up. Lock them up. You understand me? When you groom them. No. Mm-mm. We got so many men. I'm coming at your neck if you think like this, man. Yes, I'm coming at you. We got so many devious men who have said the girls was in the wrong. I'm talking about the R. Kelly case. Oh, they mamas. I mean, it's everybody's fault, but the devil's fault. And I'm saying about R. Kelly was a devil just used all in his body, just made him sin against his own flesh. But you got males across this internet world and the world outside of this internet that's devious monsters too. Because they sit around and say, and always trying to blame, the woman made me do it. Instead of the devil, that little girl, that 12-year-old girl, look at her coming up in here with her school dress on. Didn't her mama teach her not to wear her school dress to school? Let me teach her how to be a woman. You know, what's good, Gotten? Hey, welcome in. You got deviant men in society. Think like that. Think like that. It was a whole doggone epidemic. It's still an epidemic though. But now it's coming from out the darkness into the light. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Well, it ain't the dawning no more. It is the age of Aquarius. Y'all know that song? That was a 70s song. It's telling you the light is coming. The light is coming. Huh. Y'all was dropping roofies and Mickeys and Spanish flies and girls and women's drinks. And quiet as it's kept, y'all was Spanish flying and Mickey and men. Oh, we lock them up. Lock them up. I'm talking about when you take other people's free will, you need to be locked up. We don't even want to see the sight of you no more. Put them in a dungeon. Matter of fact, we don't. When you do that, you lose all human rights. This is just me. You know, you don't want me to be a judge. I'm trying to tell you, because if you're a deviant devil, baby, it'd be a wrap for you. I treat you like they have some of them laws over there and over there in the sand dunes over there in Iraq and Chirac and all that. You steal something, what they say, they chop your hand off. You over here putting your tally in folks that you ain't been approved by the person to put your tally in. Chop it off. Chop it off. That's right. You don't need it no more. You do too much. You've been putting your hands, chop it off. Because you need to learn something today. These deviant devils don't know how to learn to you. Chop it off. That's right. You don't want them to go to jail. You got these folks. Free Diddy. Free R. Kelly. We gonna open a club called Baby Oil. Diddy spot. Go ahead. Free them, but chop it off. That's right. Everything people claim they did to them people, if they use their fingers, their hands, their fists, chop it all off. Because if these people been doing things to people unaware, drugging them, they need to lose everything that they used. You heard me? Especially on little ones. And you men, now y'all trying to be upset. Y'all wasn't too upset when it was, these women was talking about they was being drugged, used, and abused. They was in situations. Y'all don't even half these men don't even have sympathy for Cassidy. Oh, she liked it like that. That's what they say. That's why she ain't leave. Let me see. That's just like these men that have wives that be abused. And they say, why they don't leave? Why they stay for 10 and 20 years? Well, when you're in a situation when you ain't got your own credit card. Women, if you married, you ain't got your own credit card. You got to ask your husband, can I get your credit card to go buy something? You are in a jail, honey. You are in prison, baby girl. That's financial abuse, honey. There are so many videos I don't want to bring out to wake up some of you women. Y'all married and y'all husband got y'all in bondage. Financial abuse. When you don't have free access to money, but they want you to have this fairy tale life that they say, my wife's a housewife. She ain't worked and I don't want her to work. And yeah, but she ain't got her own bank account. She ain't got no money flow of her own. And some of these people will, thank you, baby. Thank you. I appreciate all these comments. Thank you, honey. And some of these people, that's how they keep their wives locked up in invisible chains. You understand me? Because you can't run. Where you gonna run to? You got 5 and 6 children, but you ain't got a credit card in your purse. You might have $5-6 in your wallet. Where you gonna run to? Huh? And don't let that person have any influence, baby. Don't have any influence. Where you gonna run? They might be the chief of police. Where you gonna run? Yo, it's a lot of men that be having a lot of excuses for these these criminals, these deviant devils. Let's get into some more what some people were saying about Diddy and him having a rigged doggone jury.
The jurors in the Diddy doc that I am very briefly in show us two very different perspectives that combine to create the not guilty verdicts on the big charges. This one is a fan. She liked day 26. But you can see the glitter in her eyes from being around Pop. It's like she went to a concert. She's excited to share moments with him, to look at him during the trial, to feel the same things as him, to see him doing the same nod that he did during making the band. She's won over by the fame, and I'm sure that's part of why some of these jurors voted not guilty. But this man knows and cares nothing of Pop's fame. But he says, why did she keep going back to him like they were lovers in a crazy relationship? This is a complete misunderstanding of trauma bonds, as well as a complete misunderstanding of how Cassie was personally, financially, and professionally yoked to Diddy. Throughout the trial, people said, why didn't she just leave? Which is essentially what this man is saying. Why didn't she just leave? She explained that her career was tied to him. He kept her broke. When she talked about leaving, he threatened to release the freak-off tapes. He threatened her mother. And whenever she actually did run away, he sent his bodyguards to go and bring her back. So there was no way for her to leave. But y'all want to talk about why didn't she just leave? You can't have the luxury and the complaint. Trauma bonds are very difficult to understand. The jurors in the Diddy doc
That's why I said it's a lot. It'd be a lot of deviant folks. You know, they done trauma bond. They doggone. You know, wives, lovers, ladies. I want you to understand. If you're in a situation like this, hell, why you think having them men that's on this documentary talking about what Diddy did, why you think they stayed so long? Because Diddy used the techniques he used on doggone cats to keep them broke. But keep them in the studio thinking they going to get their check. That's what Mace said about that. Why you think I kept quitting? Mace told you in that all them shots that was just fired we just listened to. Because he kept lying about paying a brother. But he has some other men that tagged along as long as they did. But in that documentary, it said, I'm talking about these be some beef riding niggers. Just sick with it. Beef riding niggers. I mean, they talking about, oh yeah, we heard Diddy whooping on what was it? What was the woman they say his wife Michelle? Is that her name? Y'all let me know. I think that's her name. You know, she mysteriously came up sick with mysteriously some pneumonia or something took her out. Mm-hmm. People say, oh yeah, these excuse me. Yeah, beep. These tallywhacking riding men who could have stood up when they heard boom, pat, boom. The beating of a woman. I told you, men that beat on women is punks. You heard it from me. If you ain't heard it from nobody else. Men that beat on women are punks. And these other men, they just as weak and they punks too. To sit there and listen while Michelle got beat up. You heard me? Got beat up. Let me tell you something. Have you men don't want men to lay hands on you. But y'all act as if women supposed to be super women, get beat up, sexually traumatized, broke as a joke, and have the strength to somehow get out. Every time you break away, you heard the man. You heard Cassie's testimony. Every time she tried to break away, try to, run for the hills, he sent his goon squad out after her. But you got these these belly crawling niggers. They probably would have been in the lobby waiting patiently in the hallways, waiting, hearing the cries of the woman. Getting beat up by a $2 chump named Diddy. And these tallywhacking, riding men didn't lift a finger. Didn't lift a finger to help. So they heard it with Michelle. Michelle got took out. And I'm thinking that's honey. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Thank you, honey, for the compliment. I appreciate it. They heard it from Cassidy. They heard it. Y'all even seen it. Y'all know it was some weirdos saying, we seen the video. We seen Cassidy running down the hallway. Weirdos. These is weirdo men. We seen Diddy kick her just a little bit. I mean, it's just a little kick. Not much. It's just a little kick. He didn't rough up too much. Punks. He's a punk. A punk. They punks. We seen a video of her getting her tail whooped and drugged back. And this happened over and over and over again. If he wasn't dragging her back to hell as the demon and devil that he was and is, he had his imps run after Cassidy. You know what they say, after you've been in captivity for a long time, you start to think like your captors. Some people start to think like they captives. Some people start to think like they dog captives. They call it a Stockholm syndrome. Now we know about so many different syndromes. Now y'all know about narcissists because y'all wearing the heck out of that word. So you know about narcissist abuse. You know about all these narcissistic trauma bond and all that come with narcissistic abuse, baby. And it's so bad when somebody is a narcissist. Do you know, literally, when you deal with a narcissist for a long period of time, how long was Cassie with Diddy? Somebody hold back. Let me know. I think it was at least over a decade or so. Right? Literally, it changes the chemical makeup in your mind. That's right. It literally makes people not only have Stockholm syndrome, but on top of being a crazy sex fiend narcissist, it changes the chemical makeup in people's minds. Have I ever dated a white guy? I just have to see that. Why? Are you white? Is that why you're asking me that question? Is that why you asked me that question, honey? But we talk about Diddy. We talk about dating on a dating, broadcast. Okay, and you can ask that question. Say that question when we talking about dating. Yeah, go on and put that question in your pocket, baby. Okay, Barry. I think that's what your name is. These lights is bright. At Barry. So look here. It changes the chemical makeup in your mind. I'm talking about men and women because there's some narcissist women out there. And baby, they say narcissist women ain't no joke. Narcissist women, y'all have these men crazy too. Crazy and deranged. It changes the chemical makeup because you actually, in my opinion, you're dealing with a damn demon for real. You're dealing with a damn entity for real. You understand? And people always, it is just so, it boggles my mind when people just act like, why she just didn't leave? Why these wives, why they don't just walk away? Why they don't just leave after just giving their whole life to a nutcase? Hey, what's good, young Riz? How you doing, baby? Welcome in. After giving their whole life to a nutcase, they sit there and easily part their lips to say, I just don't understand. Why didn't she leave? I don't, these women just can walk out after sitting there. What was the song? 11 years I sacrificed, and you can leave me at the drop of a dime. So I'll hold these, Mary J. Let's pull it up. What was that song? Y'all remember the movie? Y'all be acting like it's so easy for these women. They ain't went to school, been at the house scrubbing toilets, cooking pot pies. Don't have education at first. A bank account where? Okay, let me see something. Mary J. Blige. I'm going down. What was that song? We got to hear it, y'all. We got to hear it. I know I'm probably going to get a copyright on this, but we got to hear it. I don't know the song. Maybe if I put 11 years. 11 years. Maybe that'll pull it up. You know what? Let me go to YouTube. YouTube will pull it up for me. Let me see. Let me go to YouTube because we got to hear. Y'all know it was on Wait to Exhale, the movie. These women tried to tell you they was waiting to breathe. They was in a relationship that was going nowhere fast. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Mary J. Blige. The heck is name? What's the name of that doggone song? 11 years. Is it? I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. Yes, hold up. Y'all be quick to say, walk out, please. Right? Quick to say it. Let's get a little bit of Mary. Y'all know this is what these wives be thinking about. They done sacrifice, right? While the time when I was loving you, you were busy loving yourself. I would stop breathing if you told me to. Now you're busy loving someone else. 11 years I stopped my life. Besides the kids, I have nothing to show. Wasted my years all through the world. Hey, I should have left your ass long time ago. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears. No, I'm not gonna cry. You're not worth my tears. Can't do it. I'm not gonna cry. Y'all understand? These folks be hot than a firecracker because these women, they give it up. They give up their youth. They give up their body because after pushing out 4 and 5 kids, body shot to hell. Tread marks all up and down the stomach. And then some of these men had a nerve to say, look at you now. You're about 300 pounds. Look at you. They don't say, look at my beautiful children. You know, birth out that body. It was a banger body, when you were 20. I appreciate that too, but I sure enough appreciate these children. You birthed out that body that I can't do. I can't push a whole human out my body. There's some sickos in the world, y'all. Sickos that would tell a woman who sacrificed. Let's roll that back. We're going to do a little lip sync tonight. Okay, this evening. Y'all understand. I always thought about why she didn't just leave. I just can't understand it. She ain't have no way out. She ain't have no money. Financial bondage. Custody. And some of them men Diddy was dealing with. Financial bondage, baby. But we ain't gonna cry. We're gonna get these women strong enough to walk out. Come on. Come on, Mary.
While all the time that I was loving you, you were busy loving yourself. I was not breathing if you told me to. Now you're busy loving someone else. 11 years I found my life. Besides the kids, I have nothing to show. Wasted my years all full of words. I should have left your ass long time ago.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tears.
Okay.
No,
These women gotta drag themselves out of bed. And I'm talking about just regular housewives. After 20 years, some of these men have the nerve, the doggone audacity to say, you know, baby, you done gave me 30 years, but I done found Becky. Look at her. Hey, Becky, just wait in the car. Shh. Just wait. Becky, you know, you gave me 30 years of your life, but Becky, you know, we got to impregnate these young folks. That's what their bodies is made for. You know, crazy stuff like that. Just throw women away like it ain't nothing. And then you get crazies on these internet streets and in the real world talking about why they just didn't leave. About golly gee whiz, I don't understand it. We need a retrial. We need a retrial because it was fanboys and girls on the doggone jury. It was rigged from the gate. You understand?
Diddy Juror 160 that we saw in 50 Cent's Netflix documentary actually gave me off vibes from the very start of Diddy's trial. After her opening her mouth on this Netflix documentary, it confirmed my suspicions that much more. They always say that picking the jury is what could possibly make or break a case. And I think Diddy and his legal team knew that they wanted Juror 160 on this jury. With Diddy's $1 million legal team, he actually hired a jury consultant who is very good at what she does. And what she does is profile the jurors. She looks at everything, their body movements, the way they talk, and she puts it together, picking the people that she believes might be most helpful to Diddy during his trial. One interaction that stood out to me the most during this jury selection process is the fact that Diddy smiled at Juror 160. During the jury selection process, it was reported by multiple different media outlets that Juror 160 said, "I wish I knew the names of the celebrities that were on the list that were going to be brought up during Diddy's trial." And it was reported that when she said that, Diddy smiled. And Diddy most likely smiled about this because she said she wished she knew these celebrities that were being named. That shows that she's pretty much kind of fangirling over celebrities. She wished she knew them, which a lot of people, even myself, feel like this is the vibe that she gave off during her interview on the Netflix documentary. It really threw me for a loop when she brought up the fact that she didn't believe that Diddy was actually nodding at the jury. She just thinks it was a nod that he would normally do because she watched Diddy on Making the Band. Even as the media reported, and someone like me who has covered this case extensively, you would have known that the judge used a particular word when he threatened Diddy to kick him out of the courtroom when he was caught nodding at the jury. The judge said Diddy was vigorously nodding at the jury. That means he wasn't just nodding a little bit. He was nodding a lot of it. And this is where a lot of people felt like this girl was fangirling because she admitted she used to watch Making the Band. But that part in itself, it's important to note when you have a high profile case with someone like Diddy, it's not unnecessary for people to know of him. They will still select jurors, but they are not supposed to be biased. The judge in Diddy's case did ask these jurors that got selected, are you sure you're not going to be biased? Because they can't have somebody that's biased on the jury. And if any of them said, yes, we do feel like we're going to be biased, then they were removed from being put on this jury. I also hated the way that Juror 160 was smiling and smirking through different parts of her interview, especially when they talked about the violence. Me and most people, that did not come off sincere because they asked her, do you think Diddy's a violent person? And she said sometimes he was in the CNN video. Well, no duh. And all of this, including what Kalina Harper talked about in the Netflix documentary, really made me think about Diddy's 1999 case. Kalina Harper was talking about the fact that Diddy reached out to her after Dawn Richard filed her lawsuit. And we also saw the videos that Diddy was having somebody record of him actually doing this, which is insane in my opinion. Diddy wanted Kalina Harper to put out a public statement basically refuting anything that Dawn Richard said in her lawsuit, which Kalina Harper did end up doing. And the reason why I was so shocked that Diddy was actually recording himself call Kalina Harper is because prosecutors allege Diddy reaching out to Kalina Harper continued when he went to jail a couple of days after he recorded those videos. This is where the prosecution alleged that Diddy was tampering with witnesses, and this is the reason why Diddy kept getting denied bail, because the judges were saying there was clear evidence that he was reaching out to witnesses. Like I said, it reminded me automatically of Diddy's 1999 case. Because in the 1999 nightclub incident when Diddy was with J-Lo and Shine would go to jail, the prosecutors were alleging that Diddy was tampering with witnesses. Prosecutors said that Diddy or members of his entourage exchanged phone calls with witnesses who later testified that Diddy did not have a weapon during a 1999 nightclub incident. The security guard that was at the club said on the stand that she never spoke to Diddy after the incident, but phone records showed a 3-minute call from her home to Combs' cell phone on January 8th, 2000. Myers testified that she fell on top of Combs after the incident, that she did not feel a weapon. The prosecution said this contradicted what she told police immediately following the incident. The prosecution's evidence during this trial also showed records of 5 calls in January to the hip-hop star from a cell phone owned by an auto technician, who also testified that he did not know Combs, while his phone received 1 call from Combs. Records also showed 22 December calls from witness Glenn Beck's home to one of Combs' bodyguards, Paul Offord. This evidence back in 1999 was introduced to support the prosecutor's accusation that the defense had tampered with witnesses. And as you know, one of the victims in the 1999 nightclub incident, Natanya Rubin, who is the sweetest woman ever, actually said since the beginning of this and even during trial that Diddy is the one that shot off the weapon that ended up hitting her in the face. We all know that Diddy did get acquitted during this trial, and then Shine ended up spending 10 years in jail. But Natanya Rubin didn't stop there. She actually filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy, which he quietly settled a couple years later. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
He did it. We want a retrial because he had folks up in that jury duty. I mean, jury box winking and smiling and getting away with murder, they wrote, because raping and sexually assaulting folks without a will, drugging them, all that.
After this bullshit I just seen in the Diddy documentary that 50 Cent did, they need to run that whole trial back. You mean to tell me it was jurors who was running around and kicking it with Diddy back in the day and they was on the jury pool? And I don't like it. What if I told you? Check this out. So everybody was saying that one juror, 160 or whatever, she was fanned out. I remember she was saying that when Diddy made faces, when people was lying, that she would be making faces too, and then they would be making faces together. She was on the 50 Cent Diddy documentary smiling the whole time, acting like Diddy was the best thing ever happened to the world when you supposed to be on the trial. It don't make no sense. This is some bullshit. So juror number 160, according to the internet, and you can look into it yourself, but they have found her basically partying with Puff. Put the video or the pictures up here somewhere. Now I wonder, so how many other jurors was running around with Diddy back in the day and found themselves magically on the jury pool, coming up with this verdict that pissed off the whole world? 50 Cent put that in the documentary on purpose. He a genius for that. He want to show the world that this fucking trial was rigged. It was a dog and pony show. It was not real at all. And I don't like it. What if I told you?
I don't like it either. Okay.
After this bullshit
That's
I just seen in the Diddy documentary that 50 Cent did, they need to run that whole trial back. You mean to tell me it was jurors who was running around?
I don't like it. Welcome in, Brother Vic. How you doing? I don't like it, y'all. It's just, but hey, I said it from the gate. I said, Diddy, it's fixed. It's in. I didn't agree with the verdict. I did not agree with the verdict. I said he was guilty and he needs to get the same treatment that R. Kelly getting right now. 30 years. R. Kelly is over for you, partner. It's over. And you know what? It's probably going to be, oh, hold on. What we got going on here? Y'all hold up. It's probably going to be over for, because he's on the suicide list, right? He's on the retrial. That's right, Brother Vic. Retrial. Because R. Kelly's on the suicide watch, y'all. 30 years. Petty. Are you ready? What's going on? He's a petty. Are you ready? Are you ready? Hit 30 years. No more life. No more partying. That's right. It's over for R. Kelly, baby. Let's get into it. If y'all didn't know, now you know.
We do begin tonight with singer R. Kelly, sentenced to 30 years behind bars after his conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors accused him of leading a criminal enterprise of managers, bodyguards, and other employees to recruit and abuse women, underage girls, and a teenage boy. Accusations swirled around him for decades, and authorities believe for years his actions were protected by his fame. Then in 2019, in the TV docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, a number of alleged victims came forward to publicly accuse him of abuse. Arrests followed on charges in Illinois, and in federal court, Kelly held without bail for nearly 3 years now. At today's sentencing, several accusers confronted the former superstar, the judge calling his abuse calculated and carefully planned for 25 years. ABC's Stephanie Ramos leading us off tonight.
After decades of sexual misconduct allegations, tonight a federal judge in Brooklyn sentenced singer and convicted sexual predator R. Kelly to 30 years in prison.
This is a significant outcome for all victims of R. Kelly, and especially for the survivors who so bravely testified about the horrific and sadistic abuse they endured.
The one-time music superstar faced life behind bars after a jury found him guilty in federal court on 1 count of racketeering and 8 counts of sex trafficking. The trial lasting nearly 6 weeks, with close to 50 witnesses testifying against Kelly, more than half of them alleging abuse, several represented by Gloria Allred.
You've called R. Kelly the worst perpetrator that you've pursued. Why is that?
He recruited fans of his, targeted them, intimidated them, indoctrinated them, threatened them, sexually assaulted them.
Federal authorities looking into the years of accusations after the explosive Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, in which dozens of accusers alleged the singer had abused them. Kelly did not testify at his trial. Tonight, one of Kelly's accusers relieved.
I never thought that I would be here to see him be held accountable for the atrocious things that he did to children.
And the legal fight for R. Kelly isn't over. His lawyers say he didn't speak during the hearing today because he still has a pending case in Illinois. His lawyers also say they plan to appeal his verdict today right here in Brooklyn. David.
Stephanie Ramos leading us off here on this Wednesday night. Steph,
That's right. R. Kelly done, baby. It's a wrap for the Kells. It's a wrap. Yeah, you out there doing dirt. And like I was saying, let me get this down real quick so I can talk to the people.
We do begin tonight with singer R. Kelly, sentenced.
Hush it up. Go ahead and double tap the screen. double tap the screen, as you come in. Go ahead and also subscribe to the channel today. Okay? I will not be the one. Hold on, what's going on with my there we go. Go ahead and give y'all some shine. I have to I will not be the one. I will not be a pick me woman and be like, I'm just going to just support it and just not see the devil in action, right? And be like, they're trying to attack all of our Black men. They're trying to destroy the legacy of all these successful Black men. I was the one who, when all of them did dirt, I said something about it. That's right. I said something about, because like I said in the beginning of this broadcast, right? I said, when we were told by my mom and my brother and I, were told when we went out there and we did something and the popo got us, we did it, right? We went in and robbed the store. We went in and did something illegal. She said, do not call me. I'm talking about come down to the jailhouse to bail you out. Don't do it, And so this father lets me know these are grown men, successful in their respective fields. They knew what they were doing. But see, they forgot that they didn't have a complexion for the protection of the collection. That's right. What you saying, Brother Vic? The first Epstein files, then Diddy files, then Kel's TV reaction files. I know, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Lord. Yes, indeed. I can't give a pass. You are grown man. How you're a grown man and you that scared, you that powerful that you can't ask a woman or ask whomever, because Diddy, he likes to freak on everything. You can't ask a man. You got to drug them, you got to coerce them, you got to hold them hostage financially to get what you want. No. And then holler victim. Then holler, they coming after all of us. Can't you see they trying to tear down the Black community? No, you're tearing down your damn self because you're trying to be like, what's the excuse I always hear? What was the Playboy? What was his name? Howard. What was his name? Hefner. Hugh Hefner. Well, look at Hugh Hefner. Look what he did. Okay. And Hugh Hefner gonna have to pay one way or the other, just like Epstein gonna have to pay one way or the other. If it wasn't him on earth, it showed up gonna be in a judgment day. But you get a lot of these Black men and some pick-me Black women can't stand on business, say they like. I always say, well, look what they did. Well, if they did it, why can't we do it? Why can't we commit crimes? Why can't we hurt people? Why can't we devastate the souls of people? Why can't we hide and just take what we want from people instead of giving them the opportunity to see if they're willing to participate? Because they know half the time folks be like, hell to the no. Hell no. To the no. Hell no. Because some of y'all, I'm telling you, the deviancy is getting real out here in these streets. See, it's getting far more gone than what y'all think. Let me see if I got this story. It's getting far worse than what y'all think. You see, let me turn this down. Hold on. Y'all think Diddy and what he done did and all his doggone Johnson & Johnson baby oil escapades is something to marvel at. Baby, let me see if I can get this story up here. And this is like the second time I done heard, oh Lord, my light's going out. That means my battery is going low. Let me see. Y'all still good? We still cooking. We still rocking with it. That's right. That's right. Hell no. To the no, no, no. Y'all don't give people the opportunity. These men, powerful as they are, they could, half of them could have paid some of them folks to be freaky deaky. They didn't even want to give up the money to pay them to be freaky deaky. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to do that. They want to just take it. I'm just gonna take it all, and take the money to hold all of just greedy, just gluttonous, all of it. Let me see if I can find the story. If I can't find it, because I want y'all to hear the words from this man, because this is the second time I done heard this. And I'm telling y'all, I used to watch Steven. What was oh goodness, I can't get his name. I just got iron freeze. God dog it. He passed away. I was gonna go see him in Dallas. I'm trying to run my brain back. It'll come to me. His name will come to me. That's so sad. Forgive me. Dow. Not Dow. Not Dow. They be talking about Dow up and down the internet streets. Not him. He ain't passed away. He said the lasciviousness that's gonna come upon the world, baby, in America, is here, y'all. Why can't I think of his name? That's crazy word. Must be some witches, warlocks in the chat trying to block my memory. I bind these witches and warlocks in the chat trying to bind my memory right now. I loose my memory and I bind your memory and I put your eyes in darkness. You hear me? Okay? In Jesus' name. Got to top it off with that. Yahweh's name. Okay? He said it's going to come a time where bestiality was going to reign, y'all. Y'all think, oh, this is the top of the line. This is the top of the line right here. Hearing about all these freak offs. All this baby oil wasting around here. These folks getting perverted even more. And I'm talking about just in Jesus' name. That's right. That's right. Put your own up there. Come in here, witches and warlocks. It's gonna be so perverted, and it's amongst the melanated community, the perversion. That's why I don't give these Negroes a pass. You understand me? I'm not gonna give them no pass. If they doing diabolical, just devilish works, they're gonna get this tongue lashing from the godmother. That's me, Ethereal. I'm your godmother. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Dave, you over there on Facebook. Come on over here on my YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel. We have lovely, informative topics that we talk about, not just this grime that's on the street. Sometimes you got to hear about what's in the world that's not so pleasant all the time. But y'all listen to this story. Let me turn it up. Buckle up and hold on tight.
I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick
I'm sick of it too, brother.
I'm so sick of it. This unpredictable ass life I got. This wild ass shit that I see on a daily basis. I go over my folks' house. I go over my man's house, right?
Listen to this.
When I walk up to the fucking door.
Wait a minute. Let me say something real quick.
I hear some weird ass.
Let me say something. Might be some profanity in here. I can't remember. So if you got little ones, go and get them out the room. You might want to get them out the room because you might not want them to hear this story. Okay? So go and get the little ones up out of here. Out of there. Okay? Yeah.
Sounds like this fucking dog is crying and shit. Like the dog is just going off. Well, I'm worried at this point because I'm like, I'm ready to come to the rescue. I hear the dog just going on, just going the fuck off. So I bust up in the motherfucker. Why I see this nigga on the couch giving his dog the business, giving his fucking the shit out his dog. I'm so surprised. My fucking heart dropped. And I walk smack the fuck. You looking at me, eyes wide as. Don't even explain yourself, homie.
Don't even explain yourself.
I know I wasn't supposed to see this.
Perversion.
I'm gone.
Lasciviousness.
I'm gone.
Out the door.
This nigga trying to offer to pay me. You're not telling no. But
Tell
I don't
it.
want shit you got.
I know that's right.
Let me out this.
He just want to be out. So while you got some men and some pick-me always trying to cover up for this baby oil fiasco, trying to say free Diddy, they trying to take the black man down. The seriousness is running loose on the streets. Now they got folks in their homes sleeping with their dogs. And as you can hear, the man's voice is a little heavier. Got a little more melanin in his face. So that further let you know that's a brother. So will we hear later down the line excuses from the black community? Let them just sleep with their animals. What's wrong with that? Pastor Stephen Darby said this was going to come our way. See, these people in my community can't stand on business. I'm going to stand on business. Lock them up. If they taking advantage, if they pissing on little girls, lock them up and throw away the key. No more excuses will be had because now they is sleeping with dogs, brothers, stuff we have never heard about in the so-called black community. Let me get another, let me see if I can find another woman who was telling her story. She was on a dating site. Let me see if this is the sister. Let me turn down a little bit. Go on, get the children out the room. This grown folks talk. Okay? This grown folks talk. With 2025 going into 2026, ain't no more excuses for your sickness. You understand? Ain't no more excuses. I don't want to hear about how they tearing down the black man, the prestigious black man who got sense enough to know right and wrong. Sense enough to know you don't Mickey nobody and then take what you want from them. And you got enough sense to know your bank account's stacked over there. But you rather not pay for your freakiness because you're going to pay for it one way or the other. So both ways you need to go and pay. For you freaking, you ain't trying to pay. You try to keep your money in your pocket and still be freaky and take folks' virginity. They, backdoor virginity for the brothers. Because these men's coming out the woodworks now talking about, they got me. Got. Woke up, someone right about my body. It's on the documentary. 50 Cent dropped it. It's on the documentary. I done stayed with y'all a little too long. I've been up here talking. See, when I get to talking to your family, I got to express myself, and I be staying a little past my time. I can't be the one. Yeah, I ain't gonna be the one on Judgment Day talking about Father asked me. You had a couple of platforms while you was down there on Earth. You had a couple of platforms. Did you see some of these perverted folks, doing the nasty? Did you speak about it? Did you say anything? You won't get me on Judgment Day. That's something I will pass wholeheartedly. No, Father, I spoke out about the perversion. Lock them up, I said. That's right. Okay. Now, we don't have these men standing on business. They giving every excuse, blaming the children for why the children was at the concert, blaming the parents. They blame everybody but the devil himself, the one who's doing the deeds, the dirtiness. But now lasciviousness is amongst and it's flowing throughout the community. Now I'm telling you, Pastor Stephen, I wish I had his video queued up. I wish I had his video queued up. Because he said this bestiality gonna come, and this the kicker. He said when it goes to Washington. I'm gonna find that video, because bookmark this video, save this video to your favorites today, because you're gonna say Etheria sure enough said she heard it from Pastor Stephen Darby when he was alive. You say when it goes to Congress, when they start marching in the streets talking about we have the right to love who we want to love. We have the right to sleep with what we want to sleep with. I love my cats and I love my dog. When these people start marching in the streets for their right to marry their animals and they want bestiality on the bill, you blame the ones who led the gateways wide open because they didn't stop the lasciviousness that we see now laden with baby oil, because they think it's okay when they just busting open the gates of hell, holding it open with all they might for all this devilishness to come through. Let's hear another story. And baby, it's from another melanated person. That's right. Let me turn it up.
So last night, I let a man come to my house. He's not a stranger. He's somebody who's been to my house before. I think that we are just on a friends only level at this point. But also because at the moment of him getting here, it was going to be just us. It was going to be other plans, and then those didn't happen. So and I was like, hey, a few things. I'm not going to sleep with you. I made that clear before he got in his car, before we got to my house, outside of my house, all of that. And also I had another friend coming over as well. So like, someone else is on their way over as well, so that we just having a kickback. But also, I just need you to be crystal clear. We are not on that time. Nothing is going to happen. And of course, I can't knock you for trying. He, put forth a little effort there. And then when it comes clear that I'm not going to sleep with him, and my friend had not shown up yet, he was like, well, is your dog trying to F? Is my dog, my dog trying to F? My dog. This dog right here.
A dog, a D-O-G, right, a real dog.
Yeah, so that's my dog. She's 30 pounds. And you're asking, and she had hopped on his lap because this is her house. And he was like, why your dog all over the place? I was like, because she lives here. This is her house. She can do what she wants here. You are a guest. She lives here. But yeah, it was like, I'm saying you're not trying to do nothing. Like, your dog all up on me. Is she trying to F? I wasn't trying to process this information. And also, mind you, he knows somebody else is on their way to the house. Like, somebody else is about to pull up as well. And yeah. And when I was like, you need to leave. You are weird. You need to get out of my house.
Weird. That's good. That's good, young Riz.
He asked me that question maybe like 3-4 times, and then just randomly passed out at one point, where I like couldn't even wake him. Wakes up. I finally get him woke. Show him a picture of him sleeping. Was like, please leave my house. And then also asked about my dog's skills. And I can't be the only person who has this information. I can't be the only person who knows that somebody asked me that. And before you ask, no, he's not. He's not. I can't be the only person who knows this. Are the men okay? Because this can't be normal behavior.
It's not.
In all of my years, I've never had that question pitched to me. And now I got to put my dog up before company comes over, because I can't have people try to F my dog. And I didn't know that I would have to ever say that sentence.
Yeah, so it's weird, it's strange, but that is what's going on. You just heard, and this was a sister. This is a sister telling this story. You just heard before her, our brother walked in on his homeboy sleeping with his dog, the homeboy's dog, his own dog. I told you. Pastor Stephen Darby said before he was passed away that it's going to come a time where you will see them marching in the streets to be able to have the rights to marry their pets. Bestiality will reign. And I want you to remember, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, especially in the Black community, because they love to try to say, the man is trying to take down our prominent Black folk. When our prominent Black folks know right from wrong, right? Our prominent Black folks know right from wrong, but they sitting up here doing the most. Lasciviousness. So will these same, Black folks that's hollering about, it's okay for R. Kelly, he just pissed, he did was just a little piss. Just a little piss on, she was 13, she was almost a grown woman. I mean, what's wrong with a little piss on almost a grown woman? What's wrong with them liking them tenderonis, them tenderloins? Flashback. Remember somebody when I was young called me a tenderloin. I almost threw up in my mouth. What the hell? These dusty old raggedy muffins. Y'all don't let them pay for the sins and the crimes that they've done and stop giving their asses all these excuses. Then you are holding open the gates. Hold them wide open for them to march for the right to sleep with their animals. Because the Puff Daddy party, that's old news. That's old, man. That's played out. You know how stuff gets played out. Yeah. We heard about the baby oil. When was the baby oil? Back in the late 90s, 2000s, man. Baby oil parties is played out. It's not fun anymore just dropping drugs in people's drinks and raping them and running trains on them and videotaping them and selling to the deep web, the dark web. That's not fun anymore. Lasciviousness is a hungry demon. Lasciviousness is a hungry demon, and it just, it can't get enough. So, all that's going to be played like old news. And you going to have these folks, these pick-me women, and these teeter-tot on the border of the lasciviousness themselves, holding open the gates to the bestiality marches. That's right. You heard it from me. Also, through the mouth of Pastor Darby. He said it's going to come a time they're going to be marching for the right to marry their animals, their little pets. It's going to be their lovers. And they going to fight tooth and nail to have that paper saying, I have married Rover. Rover, come on over. Yeah. You don't stand up right now. You pick me girls, women. You riding the D men. You don't stand up right now and make your voice be heard and make it be plain. Stand on business. We don't give a damn about R. Kelly. Because R. Kelly didn't give a damn about himself to protect his music and his legacy. Bill Cosby didn't give a damn about himself to protect his music and his legacy. You understand me? And now they got put. He didn't give a damn to protect his music and his legacy. You D-riding men better stand on business now. Because if you don't, we gonna know who you are. You gonna be the ones that let bust open the gates into bestiality. Because that's the next party that's coming down. They might even add a little baby oil, throwback. Who knows? I'm not standing for that. I hope you don't. Hey, subscribe to the channel today. My name is Ethereal. I am your host. We have a lot going on over here, from politics to news you can use, and a little bit of this craziness that's on these internet streets. All right, double tap your screen, thumbs up, and I'm out, and much